Most librarians are aware of the problem of critical evaluation, or the lack thereof, among users of online health information. After all, successfully searching online to find the information needed is only half the battle. The user must understand that he needs to check the resource for reliability too. However, according to the Pew Internet and American Life Project, most online users do not take that second step. This lack of critical review can lead to misinformed health consumers, or worse, adverse health consequences for some. In this segment, we'll review the goals and means of critically reviewing online health information so that we can train our users in these methods. First, we should remember that our goal is to find reliable health information. How can we be sure that the information we find is reliable? If we use a trusted resource like Medline Plus, it is relatively easy since the online sources linked from that source are previously vetted by the site indexers at the National Library of Medicine. But what if we use a search engine like Google to find links to health information needed? Librarians know that the resources provided in a Google search are not necessarily authoritative or current. We have to remind our users of this fact and train them in ways to determine a site's reliability. One easy device to use is to encourage them to remember their ABCs. That is, A for authority, B for bias, and C for currency. To check authority, look at the About Us section of a site or on other online content. Any reputable resource should provide information about who is responsible for the content posted, as well as their relevant credentials. Certainly, the consumer blogging about his or her experience with a medical condition can be a valid resource for many reasons. But perhaps it is better for users who want general information about the subject to look for a site with content authors who have medical degrees and experience. Determining whether or not online health content may be biased can be tricky, since some sites may be very subtle about it. Let's think about the main sources of potential bias first. Financial interest and political agendas. I use the word political here in the broadest sense. For example, an organization dedicated to the advancement of herbal medicines over pharmaceutical drugs has a political agenda that may well color its presentation of the health information in its online content. The same goes for any financial interest the online content producers may have. Are they possibly selling something? Are there any ads for the products on the site? Again, the user needs to consider the source of the information in determining any potential bias. The About Us section can come into good use here as well. Currency, in theory, should be easy to check. Just look for the date on the online content, right? Except that far too many sites leave off that important detail. The most reputable sites will include the date published, as well as the date last reviewed by an expert. See kidshealth.org for an excellent example of this type of reputable and up-to-date content, not to mention authoritativeness. Remember, health information that is more than 5 years old may be too old to be considered reliable, and remind your users of this fact. Next, we'll look at a couple of online resources to demonstrate the good and bad health content available on the web. Then, you can take a quick quiz to assess your understanding of this module and the demonstration. If you want more comprehensive information about critically evaluating online health information content, be sure to check out the MLA Guide to Finding and Evaluating Health Information on the Web, which is linked on this presentation slide.